Hi and welcome to my 2020. Why do I have to say the year? It's 2023 though. My mid-year book Freakout. Anyways, so we're here today to talk about what I've read halfway through this year, what I've loved, what I've been disappointed in, and my feelings overall. Let me get my phone. Let's start with question 1, and that's going to be best book you've read so far in 2023. I'm a cliche, and that's who I am, and I recognize it. And you know what? I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. So it's going to be Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? I made a video about this one where I just read this book and my track to find it, and I loved it. Dragons, romantasy, romance fantasy, enemies to lovers in a fantasy realm, because I don't like real life enemies to lovers. That's just bullying, and I'm not a bully romance person. Not usually my taste in books, but I just loved this book so much. I appreciated it so much. I had so much fun reading it. I loved Violet. I love Xaden. I love them. My other favorite book of the year is Any Man by Amber Tamblyn, and this one's a horror book that is very much so trigger warning for sexual assault, because it is literally about sexual assault. It is a compilation of all different formats as well, which is really interesting. And I think it's a good approach to issues, cultural issues, like kind of sexism in a way. A lot of things. It is about a man or a number of men who are assaulted by a serial sexual assaulter who is a woman, and it is horrifying. It is a good depiction of grief and trauma, and yes, this one. Best sequel you've read so far this year. I haven't read that many sequels because I don't usually read a lot of sequels, or at least right now I'm not reading a lot of sequels. So they'd have to be either Lore Olympus, because I reread that and all of the sequels, or all the ones in that series, amazing. It's like Greek mythology, but kind of modernized, but also not modernized. At least the gods and goddesses are using modern tech, but in the real world back in the day, and it's beautiful, it's wonderful, it's magical, and the love story is that's how I feel. Other than that, I've also been reading Blood on the Tracks, which is a manga. I just read the second and third one, and I love them. I love them so much. It is really creepy. It is a very creepy series of mangas, and it's very Bates Motel. That's how I'm going to describe that. Next up, new releases you haven't read yet but want to. What did I grab? Oh. So this is Our Share of Night by Mariana Enriquez. I got this from the library because I just haven't bought it, and I really want to read this one. It is enormous, but I'm very excited to give this one a go. I think it is told in multiple books, intersecting storylines. It says, a young father and son set out on a road trip devastated by the death of the wife and mother they both loved. United in grief in the travel to their her ancestral home, where they must confront the terrifying legacy she has bequeathed. The woman they mourn came from a clan like no other, a centuries-old secret society called the Order that commits unspeakable acts in search of eternal life. Crazy. Insanity. Number 4. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. And this, I'm going to be honest with you, it's got to be The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I know this comes out in a week from me at least filming this, but it hasn't come out yet for me. There you go. It's about this old lady who lives alone in this, or I don't know, she lives in this big place on a cliff, a mansion, and something really horrifying happened when she was a child, and someone else died, and now she's going to be telling the true story as to what happened to her caretaker, I believe. So, yes. Also, Mona Awad's coming out with a new book, Rouge, and it's about like beauty industry or like social media, and it's definitely going to be like pretty creepy. And also Family Lore by Elizabeth Acevedo, because I love her. She's wonderful. Biggest disappointments have to be Finley Donovan Jumps the Gun. I gave it a 3, but it's just, the series is going downhill for me. It is about this author who gets mistaken as an assassin, a killer for hire, and it's just, I feel like they've been on the same plot line for way too long, and it's really just hit a bump. The other one was on my 5-star predictions, and that is Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. And this one, it just did not... I thought it would be like Pen Pal by Dathan Arbach, which I loved. And then I read this book, and I was like, this ain't it. Like, there were a lot of issues. I think it was mildly problematic in ways I don't know how it has such a high score on Goodreads. I wonder that every day. Every day I sit here and I wonder why. Anywho, number 6, biggest surprise. That's got to be You've Lost a Lot of Blood by Eric LaRocca. I thought this was going to be like some hardcore horror that was like disturbing and disgusting, which it kind of was. But I think that it had some really interesting thoughts and ideas in it. Also, it's very inclusive. There's a lot of representation, like LGBTQIA plus representation, which I love. And I don't know, it made me think. It opened my brain to so many conversations, and I really like that about a book. And I think a horror book can do that just as much as any other type of book. Boop. New favorite authors. Right now I'm feeling like Eric LaRocca could be one. I'm right now reading some of his other books to kind of see whether I'm like, okay, this is it, you know? Another one, it's Taylor Jenkins Reid. I just read Daisy Jones and Malibu Rising, and I loved both of those so much. I had a wonderful time. I felt like I really did jump on the bandwagon with that, and you know what? I'm okay with jumping on bandwagons. I'll do it more. The other one is Alexis Henderson. That's someone that I'm going to have to watch. I just read House of Hunger, and I loved it so much. Sapphic Vampires, loved it. I want to read Year of the Witching now, and whatever else she ends up coming out with. Newest fictional crushes. Last year, I think the last 2 years I've been like, I don't have any or something, but you know, this year I've been reading more books with that sort of mentality of like, ooh, you know? So, of course, we have Xaden. Duh. Xaden is a hottie. Xaden's a bad boy. Xaden's the Prince of Darkness, you know, Shadow King, my Shadow King. And then we also have Hades, of course, from Lore Olympus, because how can he not be? And I basically listed every other person from Lore Olympus. They're all hotties. And then Rain from Serpent in the Wings of Night. I'm going to grab that book. Then we have Rain from Serpent and the Wings of Night. This book, oh my god, Rain was a hottie. And I was like, hello, I'm here for it. I've been stung. I've been hit by the romantasy bug. And that's how I'm feeling right now. I'm not right now reading. Well, I'm reading Zodiac Academy. Maybe that's a romantasy. Who knows? Anyways. Newest favorite characters? Definitely Violet. Gotta love her. She's badass, but also, she's flawed, you know? Araya, that's a badass. And then Murderbot. I love Murderbot. Silly Murderbot. Loves their TV shows. It's TV shows. Yes. Book that made you cry. I cried a lot throughout Any Man. There was this one scene with a tree that hit really hard. It hit really, really hard. Also, I cried during We Spread. Not sure why I didn't grab that book, but We Spread is one of them. And then also Once There Were Wolves. Oh my god. I be feeling. And Lore Olympus. That's a tough one too. Books that made you happy. Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. This is adorable. It's two kids that used to be friends. They're in high school and they're in their senior year, I think, or it's sixth form, I guess. It's in England. And they end up going on this like camping trip together for this very prestigious thing. And, you know, friends to enemies, enemies to hello. So cute. So happy. Most beautiful book you bought this year. I'm sorry, it's gotta be Fourth Wing. I thought it was ugly before I bought it, but look at that spine. Also, it's so metallic and pretty. I was like, I get it now. I get it. Look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous book. What books do you really need to read by the end of the year? And that's got to be Middle Game. It's got to be Middle Game. I have to read it. I have to read it and I'm going to. I swear to God, I'm going to read this book. Favorite video has got to be my process of trying to get this book was so funny and I find myself funny. So that's how I feel about that. Anyways, thank you for coming to my booktube. Thank you for watching. If you want to do this video, you totally should. You are tagged. Thank you for everything. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. Love you. Bye bye.